The Tennessee Valley Authority is responding to a tweet from President Trump. The president tweeted at TVA earlier today saying coal is an important part of our electricity generation mix, and TVA should give serious consideration to all factors before voting to close viable power plants. TVA tweeted this in response saying, Mr. President, coal is an important part of TVA's power generation mix, and we will give it serious consideration to all factors as we make this decision.
Roane County leaders voted not to consolidate